Okay, we have this week's Torah portion of Beshalach, which speaks of that great moment in time where the sea split and the Jews walked through it to safety. We also have this Monday is Martin Luther King's birthday, a national holiday. This Monday is also Tu B'Shvat. Tu is Tes Vav equals 15, the 15th day in the month of Shvat, which is referred to as the new year. It's for trees. So which of the three should I talk about? Well, I'm going to try and talk about all three, but it's going to require a little stretch here and there. Let's start with Tu B'Shvat. The 15th day of Shvat is referred to as the new year. It's for trees. The new year for trees in ancient times meant this was the day when we started counting how old a tree was, so that we would know when it reached a time where we had to give 10% to charity, we had to give a portion to the Kohanim and to Leviim. This is the day that count started, the new year for trees, when trees started to blossom. It's interesting, trees is a very important aspect of Jewish tradition. We refer to the Torah as Eitz Chaim, a tree of life. We refer to the greatest tree of wisdom, the Eitz Hadas, the tree of life. We refer to a human as a tree. We are referred to as like a tree that lies in the field. So trees do play an important role, none more so than the fact that a tree is what a human is compared to. Yes, a human is compared to a tree, but what kind of a tree? In the Pirkei Avos, we are told that the tree represents two kinds of human beings. There are those that grow very tall and they appear to be mighty, but they have a shallow root system, and these trees are subject to being destroyed when a major windstorm comes. Their height makes them susceptible to toppling. On the other hand, there are trees that have strong roots. They may not be very tall, but the fact that they are strongly rooted in the ground means that this kind of tree will ride out the storm and not be uprooted. And similarly, human beings, there are those who are high and mighty, but they fall so often. A woman like Jessalyn Maxwell, and I'm not even sure how to pronounce her name, but who cares? My mother used to say, a bum. But she wasn't a bum. She was a member of high society. She grew up in a home that was really a mansion. She had a yacht that had a jacuzzi, a sauna, a gym, and a disco. And she ends up being a sex offender. How the mighty have fallen. And then there's a Martin Luther King. He was never a mighty person when he grew up, but he had strong roots. His grandfather was a sharecropper, and he couldn't go to the high school he wanted to go to because he was Black. But his parents had raised him right, and he followed in his father's footsteps as a preacher. And he freed the slave, so to speak, and changed the course of history. The little man is to be admired because he might be the strongest of all. That's what happened with the crossing of the sea. The sea was rushing with water and nobody wanted to come in. until we are told that a man named Nachshon, who was the prince of the tribe of Judah, had the courage to jump in. Something remarkable about this man, Nachshon. There were 12 princes. The other 11 all had God's name in their name. They had names like Tzuriel, the rock of God. They had other names that all mentioned God, Tzuri Shaddai, Shlomiel, all having the name of God in it. Nachshon was the only one who didn't. The most pious and mighty, the ones who were supposed to represent God at his best, turned out to be cowards. And only that little guy, Nachshon, who never flaunted his piety, proved to be the greatest hero of all. To this day in Israel, when you want to refer to someone as one of those who leads in a difficult or dangerous assignment, they are called Nachshonim, people who remind us of Nachshon. Nachshon and Martin Luther King remind us of those trees that are strongly rooted. Remind us what the prophet Samuel taught us. Do not judge one by his appearance or by his height, for man looks to the outward appearance, but God looks to the heart. Let's hear it for the little guys, because they're the ones who oftentimes grow up to be the great ones. Shabbat Shalom.